ఓం శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. అందరికీ నమస్కారం. Generally in the world we hear these two words very often, especially in spiritual life: sin and virtue. You see, whatever we do without any consciousness is bound to be a sin and wrong, and whatever acts we do consciously, they are called virtuous acts. You see, in this regard, Buddha once said like this: if there is light in the house, no thief will enter and he avoids it. Suppose there is also a watchman guarding the house, he will not even try to enter the house, such house. Suppose there are people in the house who are walking and talking, then there is no possibility of entering any thief in the house. So that is what Buddha said. Exactly same is the case with many people in the world. They live in the house, in their respective houses, without any light. Here, light means consciousness or awareness. So, they live and lead the life very mechanically. Whatever the functions they discharge, they are purely mechanical and unconscious, just like a machine. They live and they discharge all their functions accordingly. So, even in such unconsciousness, even the acts which they feel they are virtuous, they will not be, such acts will also not be virtuous, because they have done those acts in pure unconsciousness. So, the saintliness which has been practiced with great effort by them, the cultivated saintliness that has been done in unconsciousness will not bring them any kind of peace, simplicity or humbleness. So, they act very diligently and with divine feelings, but those feelings are unconscious. They are not conscious of even the feelings which they are expressing. So, such acts, the virtuous acts which they perform unconsciously and with unawareness, will not bring them any divine experience. You may ask, why so? Because whatever the virtuous acts they feel, they have done it. Because they have done it unconsciously, such virtuous acts boost their ego, and resultantly they miss the divine experience. And remember, the divine experience happens only when the ego disappears, when the ego completely evaporates. Then and then only that divine experience is possible for anyone treading the path of spirituality. So, they live the life and unconsciously, and ultimately there will not be any touch of that divine taste in spite of their doing virtuous things. So, what to do then to overcome this unawareness and unconsciousness? There is only one thing in life which is the master key to unlock the locks of all existence, and that is awareness. It unlocks all the locks of existence. Awareness means you are alert, you are conscious. You are conscious not only of yourself, but of all the happenings around you, and you act and live moment to moment with response to each and every situation. So, that is awareness. Awareness is like a mirror. It reflects totally. So, out of that reflection, whatever is act born out of you is bound to be right and virtuous. So, that act doesn't arise in you, it has arisen in a total context, in a situation, and in that context all other forces are also involved. It is like a happening. It is something like a happening. You are not doing it. You are not the doer of such a act. It is happening through you. So, when the whole is acting through the part becomes an instrument of that whole, and it happens. You are allowing that act to happen only through you. You feel that you have not done anything. It has happened, and you have become only an instrument of the divine. So, this act, this feeling of your non-doership of the happening is called virtue. That is holy, and that is virtuousness, and wherein you completely overcome your ego, because no doership, just it has happened. So, when you become like this, when your feeling becomes such pious acts, then that act never carries any kind of a memory in you, in your biological memory. That act will not be registered. So that it happened and it is finished. No trace of that act anymore in your biological or psychological memory, and you are free to do another act similarly. So, but remember, we do so many acts, we perform so many things, but when you do any act out of reaction, see, whatever happened through you, it is very spontaneous, it is very natural, and it doesn't carry any trace of a memory in you. But whereas when you perform any action with the past memory, then that act you are performing is not natural, is not spontaneous. It is a reaction. So remember, so whatever the act done as a kind of reaction, as a result of reaction, then it carries that kind of what we call karma. So, any act which you perform as a reaction, keeping in view the past events in the memory, they become, then they bind you to the law of cause and effect. But whereas the acts which have happened through you, and when you feel that it has happened through you and you are not the doer, in that realization you become joyful and blissful, and you are not carried away by the law of cause and effect. So, awareness. Awareness. What is awareness? Awareness is nothing but consciousness. So, people call also character. So, such and such a man has got an excellent character. So, what is this character? See, character is a set of answers for any situations in life. A man of character will have a set pattern of answers to face any situation in life. So, this character has been imposed on him and he unknowingly mastered this memory of the teachings of the parents or teachers in childhood, and he tries to act in any situation in life according to that set pattern of answers. But remember, the life changes. The life is a mystery. The life has to be lived spontaneously, moment to moment, but not with any ready-made answers. Because when you act spontaneously, it fits with harmonious existence. It is like this. For example, a man, he goes for a morning walk. So he come across a snake. It is approaching him fast. He has seen it. Immediately he jumps to the other side to save his life and to allow it to take its own course on the path. So he immediately jumps. Note the word immediately. He has not taken any decision earlier that he has to jump when he comes across a snake on his path. No, no thinking, no decision, just he acts immediately after seeing that snake. This has happened spontaneously and naturally. So, it is his action is not from any kind of answers which he has already stored in his mind, which he has learnt in his childhood. No, it is a spontaneous action, and that is that kind of thing happened. It's a happening. So, like that, when he such kind of acts, such kind of incidents, such kind of situations, you cannot, one cannot face it with ready-made answers. So when a snake comes, you have to be like this, you have to be like that, and all that. We may learn so many things, but at that point, you forget all those things and you act differently. This is as as far as situations are concerned of that kind of incidents. But there are so many other situations in life. and for which we cannot face it with ready-made answers which we have learnt in our childhood. Because life, you have grown in life some years back in your childhood, you have mastered, you have learned some things and mastered it. But the situations may be different in life, and for which you have to respond spontaneously. You cannot react with the ready-made answers which you have. So there are so many examples to quote, but the point is, you cannot live a life of joy, peace and bliss with ready-made answers. Only when you act spontaneously, act as an instrument of the divine in the total situation, in the whole context of that, so many forces are involved in any kind of a situation like that, and that happens. And when you don't resist and when you accept the happening as an instrument of the divine, then the joy and bliss is yours. So the river flows. Heraclitus said that once you step in the water and again come back, and you can't step into the same river again because water flows down. So new fresh water comes in and flows always. So life is a river, it flows. So consciousness is needed, not the character to lead a virtuous and holy life. So consciousness means awareness. Be alert, be conscious, not only conscious of yourself, but of all the happenings around you, and then trust more in God. Believe that He who created you will maintain you. Thank you.